Okay, if it is Wednesday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, that can mean just one thing. It's time for the goRIA live stream. I'm Chuck Phelan. And as I like to do on these Wednesday afternoons, is put a spotlight on what is new at www.goria.com. And what is new this week is a brand new podcast. As always, if you go to the website, it's going to be front and center right up on top. And you'll see that this week I spoke with Steven Jarvis, who you will certainly know from LinkedIn as the quote, least boring CPA. And having spoken with him a number of times, I can tell you that is a very, very accurate statement. He is also the CEO of Retirement Tax Services. And last but not least, he is also the producer of the Retirement Tax Services Summit, which this year, I've been there once already. I'll be going back there again this year. It's going to be September 27th and 30th in Scottsdale. Now, at the end of this little live stream, I'm going to share with you a discount code that Stephen was generous enough to share with our audience. I believe they call that a hook. So if you stick with us for another 4 or 5 minutes, you'll get that discount code in just a minute. So, but first, as I like to do, I'm going to share with you a little clip to give you a little taste of what Stephen and I spoke about. But spoiler alert, it's about taxes, and more specifically, why it's so important to incorporate taxes into your financial planning practice. Give it a listen. I think this is going to become mandatory soon, right? I mean, long gone are the days where advisors can just pick stocks and pick mutual funds they have to do financial planning. I think we all know that. I think pretty soon, long gone will be the days where you could just do financial planning. You have to have your hand involved in some way or other, directly or indirectly coordinating the pillars, right? The investment, of course, the taxes, the estate, the insurance. More and more, I think clients are going to be looking for that family office experience. Is that correct? Do you think, or is that an oversell?
No, and I think if we kind of double click on the tax piece of that for a second, like I think I can pretty quickly illustrate why this is going to be non-negotiable, especially on the tax side, because you just described that there, the natural progression of what financial planning has been over the last couple of decades. And when financial planning really was more about purely investments, the tax impact was a lot simpler, a lot less significant. If all I'm doing is managing investments, especially if I'm managing a relatively simple equities and bond portfolio, I'm not an investment guy, so maybe I'll get a little bit of this wrong. But you're getting some 1099s at the end of the year. You're looking at capital gains, and you're looking at dividends. You're looking at some interest. You're not looking at a complicated impact on a client's tax return. So it's easier when advisors were just doing investments to say, great, go talk to your tax person, do it yourself, like no big deal. As the industry migrated away from that, because that honestly, that became more of a commodity, and again, value expansion, we needed to expand into other areas, and financial planning, like the actual proactive future planning, became more of the norm of what we see, especially from RIAs now. Like those conversations have more complex tax impacts. They have more complex implications for the tax return. And so this isn't just, and this is what I try to explain to advisors as often as I can, this isn't just, hey, it would be nice if you talked about taxes. It's you're already having an outsized impact on your client's tax return. This comes down to whether you're going to be responsible for making sure that tax impact is taken care of correctly at the end of the year.
Okay, so clearly Stephen is passionate about taxes, and for good reason. It's an important part of one's financial picture, needless to say. It's not what you earn, it's what you keep. Now, from a practitioner's perspective, right? So as a financial planner, and we talked about this in this little clip, but I think it's worth re-highlighting. Long gone are the days where you can have a practice by simply picking stocks or mutual funds, in my opinion, right? No one's going to pay for that as a standalone. However, you need to plan. Now, I think we're even taking it to the next level where even financial planning alone is not going to cut it. I think we're just a handful of years away, if even that, before the table stakes will be offering not only comprehensive financial planning, but incorporating and coordinating the taxes, the estate issues, the insurance issues, all in one spot. Not necessarily in one firm, although I think that makes it a little bit more seamless of an experience, but at least coordinated by one person, right? This is not to say that one person needs to be a CFP, a CPA, an attorney. That would be hard to manage, and certainly I would say next to impossible to be great at all of those disciplines. But someone does need to take that point. And I think more and more people do not want to have their insurance person, their estate person, their tax person, their investment person, their planning person. They want their person. And they want that person to coordinate the other members of that team, whether they're under the same umbrella or with tight relationships. It could work pretty well that way too. So I think it's something that you really want to give some thought to if you haven't already. And again, looking at this through the goRIA lens, I think it's a really great opportunity to do that within your own shop. We're doing that certainly at Sovereign as we speak. So yeah, listen to the whole thing. It's really important. And I think now more than ever, incorporating taxes in a real meaningful way, not just a little tax loss harvesting at the end of the year, is going to be table stakes soon if it's not already there. Okay, and last, as promised, from that initial hook, here's the discount code. So if you have the ability to get yourself over to Scottsdale later this September, I was there last year. I will be there this year covering it for goRIA on location. It is a fantastic conference, super high energy, a lot of fun, right? But also the content top notch. It's all tax related, not even just tax specific, but tax specifically as it relates to incorporating that within your planning practice. So I think it's a real must attend for advisors that are real serious or looking to get serious about delivering tax advice. So that code is simply goRIA. So if you go to the web page, and we'll put a link in here somewhere, or you could just Google it. It is called the Retirement Summit, and it's in Scottsdale, Arizona, September 27th, I think it is. But again, go to the website, you'll see it for sure. Definitely late September. And the discount code is goRIA. It'll give you $200 off, which is very generous of Steven and his team to do. Okay, that is it for this week. I will see you next Wednesday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time for what will then be new on goRIA.com. Thanks for joining me.